welcome back to Beating the Odds. It is Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. We are back with our NBA best bets of the day. If you're new to the channel, my name is Zach and welcome to Beating the Odds. Let's recap yesterday's results. So yesterday, like I said, I didn't love the slate, so I only gave out one pick. And we won it. We had Spurs moneyline plus 105, so a 1-0 sweep yesterday. So we had another sweep. Love to see it. That takes us to 33-25 for the season, 11-8 on best bets. And we're hitting a 58% rate for free plays, 60% for our best bets. So can't hate that. Love to see it. And we have a loaded video for you guys here today. And I mean a loaded one. But if you're new, before I get into the picks and the leans, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Like the video, hit the notification bell so you never miss a pick. We swept yesterday. We're hitting a 58% rate. So if you're not subscribed, you're just losing money. That's just the reality. We're going for 15,000 subs. So I'm excited to have y'all here. Let's go win together today. Let's go make some money. So let's jump into this first. So the first thing I'm going to start with here, guys, are the picks I already have. So the first play that I'm going to be rolling with today that I already have my money on is the Hawks plus 15.5 versus the Celtics. This game, if you're like, listen, the Hawks, betting on the Hawks right now would be one of the, in the public's eyes, one of the dumbest things you could possibly do. And there's a very strong, like, there might be a time where I might have to eat my words for this one, like in all seriousness. But this is a play that the Sharps are all over, and so am I. Everyone on the Hawks is out. Like, I mean, if you just go down the injury report for the Atlanta Hawks, it's just a laundry list. I mean, every good player just about is out. And that's why they're going to cover this game. Because in the NBA, when you're missing a star player going into a game, and in this case, the Hawks are missing Trae Young, they're missing DeAndre Hunter, they're missing so many players. This is a game where they almost always cover out of nowhere. That every team is like, where the fuck did that come from? That is the case for this Hawks team. They're going to cover this game. The sharp money is all over it. Jason Tatum might be out. But also, think about, like, just in general, right? It's a 15.5 point spread. The Celtics know that. The Celtics don't care about the in-season tournament at all. They care about the real tournament, the real playoffs. And the Hawks, this can mean something to them. It's an in-season tournament. If they can get a win against the Celtics team, and that's a really, really big deal. Plus, the Hawks play fast enough where they can score with the Celtics. This is a game where, like, everyone's out. It looks horrible the whole time, and the Hawks end up losing by 13 points if we cover this spread. So I'm taking the Hawks plus 15.5 versus the Celtics here today. Next, I'm going to go with another icky-ass play, which is going to be the Pistons money line. Plus 100 versus the Heat. I'm just going to keep on fading the Heat. The Heat don't do anything until it is time, until they're like a 9 seed in like the in-season tournament, and then they wake up and end up being like a top 2 or top 3 team in the Eastern Conference. And when you're looking at this Heat, when you're looking at this Pistons team at home, they are like a feisty team. Like they cover spreads out of nowhere. They just play better than you think they will. With Katie Cunningham being back, that's a really, really big deal. But when you're looking at when you look at this Heat team, they feel like a very stale team. They feel like a team that should be good. Like they should be good, but they're just not. They just aren't good. And the Pistons are ascending. The young players are getting better and better and better. Jaden Ivey looks better. Cade looks better. I mean, I can go down the whole list. But and the sharp money is all over the Pistons today. And when you look at this line, you see, oh my God, the Heat only 1.5 point favorites. I mean, we're going to handle it. That is Vegas laying a trap. If it was Heat minus 4.5, I'd probably take the Heat in all seriousness. But the fact that it's basically a pick'em tells me you take the Pistons in this game. Plus, it's the in-season tournament. Bad teams play better in the in-season tournament because it's early in the season. This game means something to them. I like the Pistons here, money line plus 100 versus the Heat today. Next, I'm going to jump into some leans. Now, these are not games that I've bet on yet, but I'm going to give you guys my lean for every single game that we haven't covered already. Okay, so the first game that we're going to jump to is Knicks and Sixers. Now, this game, when it comes to Knicks and Sixers, is one of these ones where it's a marquee matchup. Obviously, it's New York versus Philly. But I mean, what are we really going to get? That's really where I'm deciding on this game. This is a game I'm probably end up betting, but I just don't really know like which way to go yet. My inclination initially, as far as leans go, is probably going to be the under in this game because first off, Maxi's out, and Maxi's like basically the guy who controls the pace for this Phoenix team. Phoenix, oh my God, Philly for this Philly team, excuse me. And Paul George is back. Obviously, he looks pretty good. Joel Embiid is his first game back. You don't really know what you're going to get. Plus, it's an in-season tournament game. If they do that weird thing with the court, I think that's going to hurt scoring, and it's also going to hurt my ability to watch this game and not want to rip my eyeballs out. But if they do that, that should be very conducive to having an underplay here, and especially when you look at Mikal Bridges is not like shooting the ball the way he was last year. Cat doesn't look like it kind of has a weird fit for this Knicks team. Jalen Brunson's still good. Josh Hart's kind of come back to earth when it comes to like shooting. And when you look at this Philly team, they don't have their guy that's going to control the pace of this game. So the under to me feels like the play here. I'm not going to bet it yet. I probably will add it. I will probably add one of these plays. I'll probably add a side or a total for this game, but I like the under 212.5 as like my lean for this one. The next game that we're going to jump to is in the Hornets and Mavs. Now I've got a massive, and I mean a massive, members only best bet for this game on the side. I love the side. I've already hammered this. This has been locked in. You can get all 5, by the way, of our members only best bets at zdmbets.com/picks. The website is linked in the comments below and help us stay independent on top of my gambling wins. But let's talk about the rest of the play here. So, when you look at the Hornets and Magic, I think that with this game, I'm going to repeat myself when it comes to the Knicks and the Sixers here, is that the under is probably the play here. Given the fact that the Hornets don't have much offensive talent, the Magic are going to be without Paolo, so you're going to be in a place where the scoring is going to be very, very limited here. Plus, specifically the Magic have a lot of great size, so there's going to be some good rim defending. And by the way, the Hornets' interior defense this year has been very, very good. I think defensively, these are both very, very solid NBA teams when it comes to defense. And the sharp money today is all over the under as of right this second, because right now, put on my numbers here. 19% of the bets are on the under today for Orlando and Charlotte, but 64% of the money. So all your dumb money is on the over, while the sharp money is on the under. Plus, when you just look at the matchups of these teams, when you have good interior defenders and not a lot of perimeter scoring for either team, that is a recipe for an under. So I really like the under in this game for the Magic and the Hornets. The next game we're going to jump to, right, for the leans is Raptors and Bucks. Now, this game is weird. Just like full stop. This game is so weird. I don't really understand how anyone's going to bet this game, like at all. I will not be betting this game. But the only way you bet this game is like if you are a fan of the Bucks, you're a fan of the Raptors, or you're just a complete degenerate and you need to bet every single game on the slate. Which, listen, respect. But the fact is that I would not. I don't know what you do about the side here. Like the side here of the Bucks and the Raptors makes absolutely no sense. 7.5 points, and they're missing Dame, and they're missing Chris Middleton, along with some other key role players. Giannis has been like the only bright spot on this team, like this entire year. And Doc Rivers is such a bad coach. But somehow they're still favored by 7.5, even with those injuries being the case. So my first inclination was Raptors plus 7.5. But like 7.5 points is a lot of points, and like to me, I think Vegas might be laying a trap here and like hoping people bet the Bucks and the Raptors lose by 6. You know, I don't really love that. Where I would go here in particular is probably to a player prop. I would just go with Giannis over total points plus rebounds or total points in general, because literally if you look at this Bucks team, like what they have is they've got Giannis and a bunch of dudes. That's literally what they have. I think they just go to Giannis all day, all night today. Plus the Bucks are 2-6. Like they need wins. Like they can't go like 2-10 and be like, okay, we're still fine. Like that's a firing Doc type conversation. So I think that if we're looking at this from a objective lens, I wouldn't touch the side. I don't really love the total. But if you gave me Giannis points plus rebounds, I don't even know what the number is, like honestly. Before I checked this out, I should have probably figured that number out. But honestly, whatever that number is, just take Giannis on there, because they're just going to feed. I think they're just going to feed him over and over and over again. I think 75. I can make a point that he'll score 50% of his team's points today, just because there's no one else, and I don't see anyone on the Raptors who can guard Giannis. So I'm going to go Giannis over points. And again, that's not a play. That's just a lean. I might be adding that in later, but even so, that's where I'd go. Next, I'm going to go to the Suns and the Jazz. The Sharps are on the Jazz today, which scares the shit out of me. Now, I can understand why. I genuinely can, because Lauri Markkanen is playing again, and Lauri is a very, very, very good player. For the record, he should get traded somewhere where he can actually compete for something, because he's too good of a player not to be sitting in Utah of all places. Plus, Danny Ainge is just addicted, addicted to draft picks, so he can get a haul for that. But when you're looking at this game, the Suns are going to be without Kevin Durant as well. So the matchup here is really the interior of the Jazz. Can they dominate inside against Phoenix? Which Nurkic might not be playing, KD's not going to be playing. You can make a very serious argument that the Jazz have a very, very good matchup advantage in the interior, with Lauri playing, Walker Kessler, these guys, against whatever the Suns have on the interior. Now, at the same time, though, you still have Booker, you still have Beal, and Beal looks a lot better than last year. Booker looks really, really good. They have two very good perimeter players in Beal. And the under is probably where I'd go here in this game, because the sharp money's on it. But what you could be looking at is just go against the sharps on the side and go with Phoenix, because I understand that the Jazz, you can look at the matchups here and go with that, but honestly, sometimes it's about star power, and with how bad Phoenix got embarrassed in the playoffs last year, I think that there's an argument to be made that they're going to take this in-season tournament unbelievably seriously, and when they do that, they're gonna blow out this Jazz team. So again, the Jazz are just, I think they're hopeless. I mean, they've got some good players. They got some good young players. I mean, Keontae George was great at Baylor. Jordan Clarkson's a great sixth man. I think Colin Sexton is very underrated. But, I think I would probably go with the Suns or the under in this game. That's probably where I'd roll in Suns and Jazz. Next, we're Mavs and Warriors. Now, with this game as well, I've got a massive side on this game. And I mean a massive side. I love the side in this game. You can get the zdnbets.com/picks. But let's talk about what we go here. So the total here is really high. It's 233 points. And Luka may or may not be playing. Even if he does play, I think it's even. I think they're very evenly matched in general, but I have some very, very sharp data that I'm going to roll with here on the side for members only. I'd go with the over. And the reason being is because I don't really see how either team guards each other. So let's say Luka plays. Luka and Kyrie and Clay. Clay is just a spot-up shooter, and he's coming back to Golden State, right? So he's looks a lot better in Dallas than he did in Golden State last year, a lot better. Who's going to guard Kyrie and who's going to guard Luka if they play? I'm not really sure who. I genuinely have no clue who's going to guard each other. I don't see it. And then Steph Curry, I don't see who's going to guard Steph either. Now, you could put Clay on Steph, which by the way would be electric. Absolutely fucking electric if you put Clay on Steph to guard him. But if he does, Steph's going to cook him. On top of that, Buddy Hield looks like the Oklahoma sharpshooter that we always knew and we always loved. And on top of that, Kevon Looney actually looks like a very, very solid big man. The young guys are looking good for Golden State. And the Mavs, they just have so much chemistry. They move the ball so well. And Luka is still Luka. And Kyrie looks awesome. I would probably go with the over here. You could also look at a player prop being I think Kyrie might be a good one here as far as points go, because he's going to be in a place where everyone's going to be focused on Luka. And you're going to have a secondary defender on Kyrie. You're probably talking about maybe Steph guarding Kyrie, and Kyrie will cook him in that spot. So I like the over in that game, but what I really like is our members only best bet, which I've already hammered. I've already hammered for today. Next, we're going to go with probably the least exciting matchup of the whole day, which is going to be Timberwolves and T-Wolves and Blazers. Something doesn't look right here with the T-Wolves since they traded. I said this when the trade happened, but is it possible that both the Knicks and the Blazers, the Knicks and the T-Wolves both lost the trade because neither of it looks right. Neither team looks right in this. But beside the fact here, Blazers are at home and they're getting between 9 and 10 points depending on what book you look at. That is really juicy because everyone and their mother is going to be on the T-Wolves today. They remember the T-Wolves team from the playoffs and think that they're talking about the same team. They're not. And when you're looking at this, I just don't really see where, I don't really see where the T-Wolves get their points from, other than Anthony Edwards, because Julius Randle's a weird fit. Rudy's not a scorer. Dante DiVincenzo, weird fit. You're basically just hoping that Anthony Edwards carries you the whole way, which he's very, very good. He's awesome. But, is he going to carry you to the promised land? Probably not. But you're going to Trailblazers today, not the Celtics, right? So I would look at two things today. I would either look at Blazers plus 9.5 to plus 10. I would even buy to 10.5 just because 10.5 is a good number. But on top of that, you might look at Anthony Edwards' point prop because he's going to be like the only guy who really can score and create his own shot on the T-Wolves. People can tell me all about how Julius Randle can create his own shot. I don't see it. I just really don't. And Anthony Edwards, this is an in-season tournament game. He always plays better on the games that matter more, and he plays hard every night. But for the games that like matter more, which technically these do matter more, he's going to play a lot better. And also, I just don't see who else is scoring. I think they're going to use him. I think his usage rate is going to be like a Luka type usage rate. So I'm going to go. If you're going to bet this game, which again, very similar to the Raptors and Bucks, like you're just a degenerate, like an absolute degenerate if you're betting this game. But I would be looking at either the Anthony Edwards points prop, not even assists or rebounds, because I don't know how much he's going to be able to. I don't know if his teammates are going to make shots. But the Anthony Edwards points prop. Or I'd go with the Blazers plus 9.5 to 10 because the sharp money's there and I think they're going to cover it in this game. Now, just so you guys know, we do have 5 members only best bets today. You can go to zdnbets.com/picks. As a member, you get all our members only best bets every single day, which are most profitable best bets on a day-to-day basis. On top of that, you have a direct line to me. So any game you're considering betting, reach out to our hotline number, get a guaranteed response back of any game you're considering betting. And if you all have free picks go on YouTube, sent to you before these videos come out. That would take advantage of early lines and early odds. And the website zdnbets.com/picks, zdnbets.com/picks, zdnbets.com/picks. So guys, let's go lock in those picks. Let's go win together today. Let's go make some money, and I'll see you all tomorrow.